jingle on my ears, and we are going to be talking about getting into the stages of change model, which is a very nerdy fitness thing. All of you nerdy coaches and trainers out there are just like, oh, she's going to talk about stages of change. And for all of you other people who are like, what the hell is this about? What we're talking about today is how to get back on track, how to get back on the wagon, the fitness wagon specifically, when you've fallen off. How to get back on track when you've fallen off, and without guilt. Guilt, in my opinion, is a useless emotion. No place for it. So we're going to be talking all about that. I think we're live. Still getting used to these settings in my softwares. So today I'm drinking a sangria tea, Celestial Seasonings sangria tea. So this, those of you who know me know I love a good tea variety in my cupboard. Makes me feel fancy to put some flavors in my water, keeps me hydrated, all that good stuff. So highly recommend the sangria from Celestial Seasonings, Sangria Zinger. It says, enjoy hot or iced. I'm having it hot today because you know I love that hot tea. Okay. I think we're good to go now. Pretty sure we're alive in the world. Man, what a day out there in Tucson, Arizona. It looks like the apocalypse out in the world. Hazy, smoke-filled air, smoke coming in. It's definitely been an interesting challenge this year, one right after the next, to be sure. We are going to talk today about the stages of change and how we deal with challenges when they crop up, knock us out of our habit loop, whatever we're doing, and how to get back on it. So the stages of change model is going to be pretty well known to some of you. It is the model that shows what stages a person goes through when they're entering a new phase of doing something. So we're going to be talking specifically a little bit about the pre-contemplation phase and contemplation phase of fitness specifically, and also how that intersects with other things that we do with fitness, with the Nerd Gym, all that kind of stuff. So what you're going to get out of watching this dang thing is to, number one, have a better understanding of why you fell out of good habits, a better understanding of how to get back into good habits, and an acceptance for oneself that this is part of the natural cycle and part of the natural process where we will go through phases of falling off, getting back on, getting our shit going. It's all fine. It's all good. All right. So let's take a look at my slides. Okay. So today we'll learn about the Nerd Gym program, stages of change, find out what stage you are in, discover the most important question to ask in the first stage of change to get you moved towards the second, and understand the physical benefits of fitness. Get 3 easy action steps that will ensure your future success. So that is what we are doing today. Today, we are ensuring your future success. Let's go. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about the overlap between different types of fitness and why we have different aspects to the Nerd Gym program for that matter. So there's exercise, that's represented by the pink here. Nutrition we have represented by yellow, and community and or support represented by the blue. Now each one of these on its own can be very beneficial, but where we get some really awesome benefits is in the overlap. So when we combine exercise and nutrition, we get physical fitness. We see real changes in the physical body that is us, which is really awesome. And of course, mind and body are connected, so you are going to get some mental benefits here as well. But the big one that we notice when we combine exercise and nutrition is the physical fitness. Now, when we combine nutrition and support, this is where we get some financial fitness. And we actually talked about this in yesterday's live stream because I went over the budget meal plan with y'all. And we talked about the importance of being on a good, healthy meal plan, not only for our immediate budget, how eating healthy is actually cheaper, not more expensive, but also how that will impact future budget, things like clothing and skincare and health expenses, and the list goes on and on. And then over here, where we have exercise and community or support overlap, this is where we get a lot of our mental fitness benefits. Now, note that I said mental fitness, not mental health. Thing that I want you to understand about mental fitness versus mental health. Mental fitness is not, when I talk about mental fitness, when it comes to exercise, community, support, all those things, we are not talking about diagnosing a mental issue, disorder, whatever you want to call it. There's no diagnoses happening here. We are just working with whatever you got to bring you to your optimal level. So there are people who will have mental health issues that persist even through getting more fit, getting more support, but we can optimize where we're at. Just like with physical fitness, there are people who are going to have chronic health issues, chronic health problems, degenerative spine disorders, illnesses, cancer. Like, fitness and nutrition isn't going to fix any of that, but having the fitness, we can optimize what we're working with, right? So that's what we're talking about when we're talking about physical fitness or when we're talking about mental fitness. It is something that literally anybody can do, but the outcome is going to be a very individualized outcome. It's about optimizing what you have right now today, not about being something else, not about being something unattainable. And I think a lot of times people get those two conflated. And I think it's important to recognize the difference, because you can't, no matter what challenges you right now have today, you can do the fitness. You can do the mental fitness, you can do the physical fitness, you can do the financial fitness, whatever. It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor, or if you are physically or mentally healthy or unhealthy, doesn't matter. You can still work on the fitness in all of those aspects, and one does not need to come before the other. In other words, if you are feeling physically unwell, doing things to improve your fitness before doing things to like improve, the health aspects of it, it's not necessarily a bad thing, right? And that's vice versa. So we want to make sure that we have all that stuff clear as we're talking about this. All right, so this is where all the overlap happens, and right dead on the center, I would say, is confidence. When we have all of these aspects going, we have confidence that we ourselves are the best selves that we can be. So that is where confidence happens, is when we get the overlap of exercise, nutrition, and support, and all of the gradients of benefits along the way: physical fitness, mental fitness, financial fitness. All right, so let's talk about the stages of change model, okay? So any of you who have taken a personal trainer certification will be familiar with this. I'm sure it's really broadly used in a lot of industries, though I don't know off the top of my head what those are. You can let me know in the comments. Are you in an industry where the stages of change model was in your education or is important to you? Whether it was or not, do I feel this is important for the average person to know? Because this is something we all experience, right? So here's where it goes. It goes pre-contemplation, contemplation, preparation, action, maintenance, and then relapse. Okay, there's another arrow that shoots off of here after maintenance. Sometimes maintenance goes on forever. Most of the time not. Most of the time there is some kind of relapse. But here's the thing. This is a cycle that we all go through with all of the things that we're trying to do in our life, all of our healthy habits. We think, oh, I don't know what to do, and then we're like, I know what to do, and I'm thinking about doing it, and then, okay, I'm preparing to do it, I'm taking action, I'm actually doing it. Now I'm maintaining that action. We talked about action and maintenance in our motivation live, when we talked about motivation and habit loop, right? And then something might happen that knocks us off, and then hopefully the relapse is a very short period of time. So in other words, there are 6 stages of change that a person will go through when adopting new habits. People do not change behaviors quickly and decisively. Rather, change in behavior, especially habitual behavior, occurs continuously through a cyclical process. When going through this process yourself, the aim is to reduce the frequency and duration of relapse over time. In my opinion, you're not going to be able to avoid relapse. We can just reduce the frequency and duration of the relapse. In other words, do we relapse for a month, a week, a year, 10 years, or do we relapse for a day or a couple of hours, right? We can do this more effectively by understanding and engaging with this process in a meaningful way. So, can you see how you've moved through this cycle in the past? I can, for sure. Fitness specific example. There was a time in my life when I didn't know that fitness was a thing that I should do. Okay, I was never a jock in high school. I know, shocking, right? I was never a jock in high school. I did not play sports in high school. I was the goth kid. You'd be more likely to find me smoking a cigarette under the bleachers than out there cheering on the football team or participating in a sports ball kind of a thing, whatever, right? It was just not my jam. And what made it further not my jam is that I associated fitness with a specific personality type, and especially in the time that I grew up with, tail end of the 80s, early 90s, fitness personalities were really obnoxious, bubbly, like hyper hyped up cheerleader types. And I was like, if that's what fitness turns you into, I don't want to have anything to do with it. Also, in my particular school,